Dear beloved, blessed families and members around the world, I pray that during this week, your heart, as blessed families and members, will be filled with longing for true mother and with Hyo and Jeong, bringing comfort to Heavenly Parent heart and filling you with heaven's grace. Last week, we reflected together on how the great religions and philosophies of both East and West, which have shaped humanity's spiritual history, came together in an extraordinary convergence on the geopolitical stage of the Korean Peninsula. We also considered why we are called to study this final great epic of history. Having laid this foundation for deeper understanding, we now arrive at a more fundamental question. What specifically are we meant to learn from this great epic of the chosen people? Today, drawing on insight from the history of religion and perspective of heaven's providence, I would like to explore the profound relationship between the attributes of Heavenly Parent that have flowed continuously through the culture of the Korean Peninsula and the deepest essence of the original human heart. To understand this, we must first examine the structure and direction through which heaven's providence has unfolded throughout human history. Heaven's providence has flowed in a pattern much like an hourglass throughout the vast expanse of Old Testament history. God's providence gradually converged upon a single point through the chosen people of Israel and the law they upheld. At the very center of the convergence stood Jesus Christ, the only begotten Son. Yet, this convergence was not simply a narrowing. As God's providence passed through the narrow neck of the hourglass, God and the law came to be understood in a new light through Jesus. Through the only begotten Son, God was revealed more fully, not merely as the sovereign who judges and commends, but as the loving Father who embraced his children. Likewise, the law was elevated beyond the system of rules and regulation into a life of love for God and one's neighbor. The providential pattern revealed in the great epic of the chosen Han people of Korea is the same. The history of the Han people, whom heaven has prepared, gradually nurtured both the character of the vertical love directed toward heaven and the deep affection of horizontal love shared with those around us as it moved toward single providential climax. At the summit of this great convergence is the advent of the true parent, true Father, the returning Messiah, who inherited the mission of Jesus Christ, the only begotten Son, and true Mother, the only begotten daughter appearing for the first time, were born on the Korean Peninsula and fulfilled the providence of the marriage supper of the Lamb. Through the true parents, God is no longer understood only as the omnipotent sovereign and the one and only God, but has been revealed in substance as our Heavenly Parent, the true parents of humankind, embodying heart and existing as a harmonious union of dual characteristics. Likewise, love for the heaven and for those around us has moved beyond the realm of the abstract commandment to take concrete form as a way of life, rooted in the four great realms of heart, embodied within each blessed family through the blessing following true parents' example. At the same time, the horizon of the chosen people has been opened anew, expanding beyond the boundaries of lineage, nationality, and race to embrace all blessed family throughout the world. The great epic of the chosen Han people of Korea stands as a record bearing witness to this latest and most decisive chapter of that universal expansion. How then has this universal attribute of Heavenly Parent's true love, been revealed and handed down through the world's traditions of faith and morality? The Torah, the 5 books of Moses that forms the heart of the Old Testament, contains 613 commandments. At the heart of the Torah are the 10 commandments. In the first 5 commandments, we learn Gyeongcheon, reverence of heaven, or love for heaven, which established the foundation of our vertical relationship with Heavenly Parents. The remaining commandments teach and love for our neighbors, which establish the order of our horizontal relationship with one another. Later, when a teacher of the law asked Jesus which commandment was the greatest, Jesus summarized all 613 commandments that had permitted the history and culture of Israel is a single sentence: love God and love your neighbors. In other words, love is the one principle that runs through the many commandments of the Old Testament and through the truth revealed in the New Testament. Throughout the history and across many civilizations, humanity has developed different traditions according to the growth of its spirituality and intellect. Yet, Christianity's love, Buddhism's Maitri, Confucianism's Ren, and Hinduism's Dharma and Bhakti are all different expressions of the same attribute of Heavenly Parents' true love. To save humankind, Heaven has sent in every age central figures who embodied this attribute. Humanity has striven to realize Heaven's ideal world by following their lives and teachings. Their long journey has become the greatest epic and the providential course of human history. How then did this universal principle of true love take on its own distinctive form and mature within the history and culture of the Korean people? From ancient times, the Korean people have regarded themselves as Joseon Minjok, a people descended from heaven, and have devoted themselves to reflecting the attribute of Heavenly Parent. The ancient Korean ideal of Hongik-ingan, living for the benefit for all humanity, present in the founding story of Dangun, marked the beginning of this tradition. It embodied the ideal of revering heaven and loving one's neighbors, and sought to establish those heavenly values as the foundation of human culture. Beginning with the ideal of 홍익인간, during the Gojoseon period, the Korean people have sought in every age to embody heaven's love in their daily lives. During the unified Silla and Goryeo period, the Buddhist spirit of compassion found expression in a culture that placed a high value on protecting and serving the nation and its people. During the Joseon dynasty, Confucian value, with their emphasis on cultivating the goodness inherent within each person and on living in harmony with their neighbors, become the foundation of society. Then, in the modern era, the Christianity spread throughout Korea. The spiritual tradition of the East and monotheistic faith of the West met and become deeply intertwined on the Korean peninsula. As the civilizations and religious traditions of East and West met, influenced one another, and become deeply integrated on the Korean peninsula, Heavenly Parents' love and character finally found their unique cultural expression in Hyo and Jeong. Hyo is the deepest expression of reverence and devotion toward the unseen Heavenly Parent. It is the highest expression of vertical love. Jeong is the expression of horizontal love. It is a desire to share both joy and sorrow with our neighbors, born from the meeting of Buddhist compassion, Confucian's virtue and ethics in relationship, and Christians' love for one neighbor. Through the long historical development of Hyo and Jeong, Heavenly Parents' universal true love was ultimately revealed in concrete form on the Korean peninsula through the advent of True Parent. By living lives of true love and Hyo-jeong, reflecting the perfect harmony of Hyo and Jeong, True Parents personally showed humanity the path we are called to follow. Ultimately, the great epic of the Chosun Han people of Korea teaches us how Heavenly Parents' love and character are woven into Korea's history and culture, the life and value of true parents who brought that love to completion, and our identity and mission as blessed families called to inherit that love and character. Hyo and Jeong are the very heart of all these lessons and the path to living them out in our daily lives. Beloved brothers and sisters, the great epic of the Chosun Han people of Korea is by no means something that belongs only to the Korean people. What we encounter through this book is Heavenly Parents' true love, the love that has worked faithfully throughout history to fulfill the promised word as recover God's lost children. As we study this great epic and become one with the lives of true parents, the original Hyo-jeong within us, which resembles heaven but has long lain dormant deep in our hearts, begins to awaken. It becomes a time of universal grace as we resonate together and come to embody vertical and horizontal love expressed through Hyo and Jeong. With this in mind, why not take some time this week to learn a little more about Korean Hyo and Jeong. I encourage you to explore how the Hyo and Jeong that blossomed on the Korean peninsula are similar to and different from the vertical and horizontal sentiment found among other people and nations. You might also watch one or two related videos. Hyo and Jeong are distinctive features of Korean culture and have received sustained attention from scholars. Therefore, you should be able to find a wide range of video and other materials that discuss them. Next week, we will consider how we can carry what we learn from the great epic of the chosen Han people of Korea into our daily lives in concrete ways. Once again this week, I pray that the boundless love and blessings of a Heavenly Parent and true parents will always be abundantly present in your homes and lives. Thank you, and may Heavenly Parents bless you.